that's insane that over the years there's still not much that has changed in terms of the paranormal psychic kind of
Yeah.
clairvoyant community.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of those techniques used are very old, and they really haven't updated um, at all. I want to say there's very little that has changed. I mean, the biggest thing that's changed for psychics that work today is just the use of the internet makes it even easier. So instead of having to get the information from your audience by having them write it down, now you can pull it from a Facebook page, or if they're a person of any level of fame, a Wikipedia page or something like that. So I guess it becomes easier in that regard, but the techniques themselves for the hot reading and the cold reading and stuff like that is largely the same.
But in terms of today, I guess one big difference you don't see more. It's more the psychics fly under the radar. There's less of a
Yeah,
spotlight on them.
for sure. Anytime someone gets in the spotlight nowadays as a person who claims to have psychic ability, faces so much criticism because so many more people know that it's all bullshit. And a large part of that is due to James Randi, who was also known as the Amazing Randi, a fantastic magician back in the day, and he dedicated a lot of his later years to disproving psychic ability and helping expose people like Sylvia Brown, Uri Geller, Peter Popoff, all these people who were making boatloads of money by conning um, people into thinking they had these abilities and thinking that they can talk to dead loved ones and stuff like that. And, so he definitely did a big part as to why you don't see him in the public as much. But there is still a surprising number out there. You just don't see him on TV, and it's surprising to me that it's not illegal.
Right, right, exactly. Yeah. So back to James Randi, and maybe we'll review this someday on here. But he did something, if I'm remembering correctly, called the $1 million challenge,
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah, he would have people who claim to have psychic ability come onto his show with $1 million prize on the line, and under test conditions set up by him and his team, if they could demonstrate psychic ability beyond the odds of chance, then they would win the prize. And I forget how long the show ran. It ran for a while, and no one ever completed it. And they had plenty of people go on there.
Hmm. I wonder. I wonder what that means. I wonder what that tells us.
I think it's pretty clear.
It's one of those weird things where we have so much proof against it being real, yet at the same time, we don't know for a fact that it doesn't exist because people
Yeah,
have had so many experiences where they people may have had experiences that are undeniable to them that were real to them, but you don't know for sure, you know.
right. Yeah, and credit to Randy. He was never an asshole on the show. And like he didn't like to use the term like busting people or anything. Like he kept an open mind because obviously you can't disprove something like that. But he would always be very respectful to the people who came on the show because you never know. Maybe it is real and we're about to see the first case of someone with psychic abilities. But based on all of the
Yeah.
evidence and research that has been done, it is highly likely that none of it exists. But I think a big thing with
Right.
it is it's such an attractive thing for people to think. Like how cool would that be if something like that is real, and like how helpful would that be in a lot of different scenarios. But ultimately it's, the most, the scenarios in which it would have helped most, no one was there to do it. So that kind of also tells you a lot about, you know what it actually is.
Hey guys, thank you for listening to this clip from the Flaming Melon Podcast. Like and subscribe, and make sure to check out this episode in full on the Flaming Melon YouTube channel.